ozone layer goes. The world has become so fragile that we cannot subject the Earth to the tortures we can now inflict upon it. When we talk about the greenhouse effect, we're talking about some...
Hi, my name is Putri Marsha Mustika binti Abdul Muttalib. Today I will be discussing about the introduction about climate change. So before I go further ado with the details about the introduction, some of you might be familiar with climate change, some of you don't. So basically climate change is a long-term change in the average weather that have come to define Earth's local, regional and global climates. These human-produced temperature increases are commonly referred to global warming. So as you know, the global mean temperature has been consistently rising across land and sea, and currently it is about 0.8 Celsius above the industrial times. And the temperature rise is accelerated and tempered by climate feedbacks such as loss of sunlight, ice cover, also reflecting snow, and changes to land and ocean carbon sinks. The temperature rise on land is about twice the global average increase, leading to desert expansion and more common heat waves and wildfires. And also increasing rates of evaporations cause more intense storms and weather extremes. Right now we're talking about the terms. So the terms of climate change, back then, before the 1980s, the scientists often use the term inadvertent climate modification to refer to humankind's impact on the climate. But in 1988, a NASA climate scientist named James Hansen used the term global warming in his testimony. So in the early 2000s, the term climate change is often used by the people. So any other term that has been used by various people are climate crisis, climate emergency, and global heating. So even though we use a lot of terms to define climate change, all of these terms contain the same meaning as well. So I think it is very important for us to educate ourselves and also take action.
Hi, my name is Nazari Minisa. Now I will talk about types of climate change. There are so many types of climate change in the world. First, tropical humid, tropical wet and dry, arid, semi-arid, Mediterranean, marine west coast, humid subtropical, humid continental, subarctic, tundra, ice cap and highland. There are 5 main types of climate on Earth. First, polar. In polar climate zones, it is extremely cold even in the summer. The temperature never go higher than 10 degrees Celsius. The secondly is tropical. In this hot and humid zone, the average temperatures are greater than 18 degrees Celsius year-round and more than 59 inches of precipitation each year. The third one is dry, or also known as arid. These climate zones are so dry because moisture is rapidly evaporated from the air and there is very little precipitation. The fourth one is temperate. In this zone, there are typically warm and humid summer with thunderstorm and mild winter. This one is continental. This region have warm to cool summer and very cold winter. In the winter, this zone can experience snowstorm, strong wind, and very cold temperatures, sometimes falling below negative 30 degrees Celsius.
Causes of climate change is happening because of us, humans. Our carbon pollution will have impact all over the world. One of the causes is because human activities are releasing excessive amounts of greenhouse gases into our atmosphere. Second is cutting down forests. Trees help to regulate the climate by absorbing CO2, aka carbon dioxide, from the atmosphere. So, when they are cut down, that beneficial effect is lost and the carbon stored in the trees is released into the atmosphere. As the result, the globe is already 1 degree warmer on average than it was before the Industrial Revolution.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Noraina Kamilia binti Abdul Salim. So now I want to talk about the impact of climate change. The first is rising sea levels. Climate change impact rising sea levels. Average sea levels around the world rose about 8 inches, which is 20 cm in the past 100 years. Climate scientists expect it to rise more and more rapidly in the next 100 years as part of climate change impact. Second is melting ice. Projections suggest climate change impact within the next 100 years. If not sooner, the world glaciers will have disappeared, as will the polar ice cap and the huge Antarctic ice shelf. Greenland may be green again. Snow will have become a rare phenomenon at what are now the world's most popular ski resorts. The third is heat waves and droughts. Despite downpours in some places, droughts and prolonged heat waves will become common. Rising temperatures are hardly surprising, although they do not mean that some parts of the world will not enjoy record cold temperatures and terrible winter storms. And the last one is changing ecosystems. As the world warms, entire ecosystem will move. Already rising temperatures at the equator have pushed such staple crops as rice north into once cooler areas. Many fish species have migrated long distances to stay in waters that are proper temperature for them. So that is example impact of climate change.
Okay, so there's some solution for climate change that I will explain to you. Okay, so first we can recycle it back, the wasted thing that we use on our everyday and on our daily, such as plastic or the other things, the similar thing. We can recycle it back and we can reduce it. And the other thing is we can use our home energy efficiently and renewable energy such as solar and the similar things. It more saving for us. And the other things is we also can walk, we also can ride a bicycle and use a public transport, which is more affordable for us and also can save our work, and we can be more green. And as such, like we also can adopt a plant-based tree for the any part which is need a more tree, more carbon dioxide on and the similar thing. It's help our world to be more green and